good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the show this evening. It's Bridgeman and Jaffa. Evening, gents.
How you doing, Ox? How you doing, Bridge?
Well, can I say to you two guys, good evening. Everybody's very happy this evening, I'm sure. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, what happened yesterday? What happened yesterday? Did we win or did we win? Get it right into them. Very happy. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Yeah, it's a very enjoyable day I had with all. Some people celebrated to the extreme. Not me, of course. Jaffa, how are you, mate?
Oh, I'm delighted. Oh, just hang on now, Hawks. I'm just part of this white horse up here. I'm great. I'm absolutely great, Hawks. Brilliant. Delighted, mate. What a result.
It was a great result, and a decent performance. It was a vintage performance, but a decent performance. But we'll get Bridge's opinion on that for your view to the Bridge in a couple of minutes. Adversity around about his new manager, new captain, players missing, so selection. I think there was maybe players playing. It might not have been playing Jaffa if all things being equal, you know.
Yeah, I think Ryan Kent deserves great credit. I think from us all, I don't think he should have been in the squad. And as you say, Ox Patterson wasn't there. I mean, like you, no doubt like the rest is, when I saw the team sheet when it came out, I was like, my word, what's going on? You know, Balogun at right back. But I thought Big Balogun was man of the match. He was outstanding. He was brilliant.
Sure, you're stealing Bridge's thunder here. You'll get paid it.
Sorry.
No problem.
Right, okay. I think so we can get the debate going, Jaffa. I think it's only fair we get the view from the Bridge.
View from the Bridge. Can't take anymore. View from the Bridge. Can't take anymore.
Oh, good evening, everybody. Welcome to A View from the Bridge. And it's a recurse of the game, Rangers versus Celtic, 29th of August 2021. SPFL Premiership game, first Old Firm game of the season. So, we're really looking forward to it. And can I just say, it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful to see all the guys that travelled all the way up from deepest England to be with us. It was just brilliant. Oxter and his family, Old School Blue, Dougie. Who else was there? Who else was there?
Old School travelled up, obviously. Dougie the Bear had travelled up.
Dougie the Bear, yeah.
Peter
so it was wonderful to see us. Can I just thank every one of you for coming up? It was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. Absolutely great. So here we go. The game. Rangers deservedly won this Old Firm encounter, and Philip Hillander's thumping header from Borner's tremendous corner settled a pulsating match. The depleted Rangers inflicted Celtic's second Scottish Premiership defeat of the season. A packed to Ibrox. With our manager Stephen Gerrard and several first-team players still unavailable after the latest COVID outbreak, we made it 7 Old Firm derbies in a row without defeat, with a victory in 6 of them. That will be 21 home games undefeated, a new club record, not a national record. The game started brightly, and it wasn't long before we started to show what we were made of. The first half was just shaded by them as they managed to get their A game into motion and created a few chances that were dealt with by our defence and the goalkeeper. Their latest attacking star got a footballing lesson from Balogun, who tackled the life out of him by our new right back. Our new right back was just brilliant. Both teams had some decent chances, but no goals. One sitter for them, but their £95 million striker misfired in front of goal, and that was quite a lucky for us, I must admit, as he was in a great position and it looked like a sitter to me. Morelos had a good chance as well. He just put the ball just over the bar, and Kent had a beautiful shot and swerved the ball, and it just hit the outside of the post. So 6 inches the other way, and that's a goal. The crowd were absolutely outstanding. May I say congratulations to every one of them. I loved all of their display, everything about it, and the songs were brilliant. Loved it. Very exciting for us Bears. For me, there was a team full of body checkers. Celtic are a team full of body checkers, snidey foulers, and the ref was not kind to us at all in this game. took the easiest decisions and ignored most of the other claims. Half-time was Rangers 0-0. Rangers 0, Celtic 0. The tide started to turn in our favour after the break. Goldson, Kent and Roof all got good and had good half chances before they responded with a poor Turnbull free kick that's right into the hands of McCrory, who was actually tremendous all the game. The momentum was very much with us and the deadlock was broken when a fantastic Borna Barisic corner reached Helander, who had made a late run to the back post and bulleted a header beyond half. Reminded me of the kind of goals I used to score in my day. Well, I think that was the loudest I have ever heard Ibrox. Just unbelievable. Well done, Borna. Brilliant goal, Helander. 1-0 to the famous. And no matter what they tried after that, for the rest of the game, we had an answer. Brilliant performances from every player and a great Old Firm victory. I give the ref and his team less than 5 out of 10. They were so anti-Rangers and didn't care either. Full-time Rangers 1, Celtic 0. Player by player, McCrory 9, Balogun 9, Goldson 9, Helander 9 and Barisic 9. Aribo 8, Davis 8, Kamara 8, Roof 8, Morelos 8 and Kent 8. And that was just, to me, they were just brilliant. A special mention, Balogun for an outstanding performance and McCrory for his first Old Firm game. What a display put on. Man of the match, Balogun, followed by Helander, McCrory, Goldson and Barisic. That's how tight it was. Possession, 41% Rangers, 59% Celtic. Total shots, 14 Rangers, 10 Celtic. Shots on target, 4 Rangers, 3 Celtic. Corner kicks, 4 Rangers, 4 Celtic. Fouls, 9 Rangers, 12 Celtic. Yellow cards, 2 Celtic. The possession stats were made up probably of 15% by their keeper keeping the ball and us letting them. Used to be called time wasting. That is the end of A View from the Bridge.
View from the bridge. Can't take anymore. View from the bridge. Can't take anymore.
Well, thank you for that, Bridge. Usually I would take umbrage with your generosity, your marking, but I'll let you off tonight because of the circumstances. Jaffa.
That was brilliant, Bridge. That was absolutely brilliant. I thought I was back at the game there. That was magic. Really good. You reminded me a couple of things that I'd forgotten I'd seen, obviously, during the game. It was brilliant, guys. It was amazing. I thought, I really do, Bridge. I thought your wording there was great. Leon Balogun, I mean, that. His defending was ridiculously brilliant. He was standing off him. The wee guy didn't know where to go. It was a great day. Great performance by the Rangers. Great performance.
100%, 100%.
Bridge touched on it, and he touched about the atmosphere and the thingy. I know it costs a lot. It takes time and money to put on the displays. So the one before the game and with the message, and then they had the flags waving with the banner dropping in the middle. Well done. It was tremendous, and well done. A lot of time and effort goes into that.
Yeah, absolutely, Ox. It was brilliant to see. I had a great view. It was amazing. I thought the fans were amazing yesterday. I don't know what, we were just up for it, weren't we? Everybody was up for it. It was good. Great.
Yeah, a wee bit of adversity, and obviously the circumstances where you're maybe a wee bit short because of circumstances rather than injuries or suspensions. You know, the COVID issue. Our manager wasn't there, and so I thought Gary Mack conducted himself really, really well, Bridgeman.
I agree 100% with that. I think I said to the boys at the bistro, I said, just imagine Gary Mack won his last game for the European game, and that was a tough game for any manager to stand in for the real manager, you know. Incredible. Over in Europe, we get a victory, or we come away and we get through, and then we go in with the biggest enemy we've got, and we trounce them 1-0. I'm not being funny, that is a fantastic result. That guy should be swinging for the chandeliers. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And well done for the backup for Steven Gerrard as well. And they'll not be long till he's back in, and away he goes. But that was great. People have been waiting. People like me have been waiting to see Gary McAllister at his best, and we saw it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do before we open these phone lines, Jaffa. We'll hear from Gary Mac, if that's all right with you, mate.
Brilliant. Love that, Ox. That would be great, pal.
Right, let's hear from Gary McAllister.
Gary, the team has faced a lot of criticism over the last couple of weeks, but they responded today like champions. How proud are you of the side, especially given the events of this week?
Yeah, very proud, extremely proud, and obviously I've spoke to the manager and he's absolutely delighted. And as you say, it's been a tough 3 or 4 days, but I thought you'd seen a coming together of a club, right from the top right to the people that help us at the training ground. Everybody's been immense, and throw in the fans as well. There's very few clubs can make these occasions like it was today, and what you've seen today is people coming together in a difficult 3 or 4 days. 2 or 3 players playing with injuries as well, so it was more like us. I thought Rangers were more recognisable today. I thought out of possession we were excellent, but in possession we looked dangerous and we looked a threat. So the players can go away, it's international break, and they can reflect and go, do you know what? That's the standards and levels that we're looking for here at this club.
So I'll go ahead.
Gary, obviously a lot was said about the strength of the team, and obviously the off-field issues that the club have suffered. What message does that send out, do you believe?
Well, the greatest example of that would be, I'd be looking at Leon Balogun today. As much as I don't want to single out somebody, because I thought 1 to 11 were excellent, but we brought him as a centre back. But we always felt, if needed, that he could play right back, and he's done it previous. But today I thought he dealt with that side of the pitch really well against a difficult opponent, and I felt we've seen a mature, proper man's performance from Leon.
Right. Gary, what does this do for the mentality of this squad kicking on now?
Yeah.
So you mentioned that it's only the first or third game of the season, a 3-match build-up, but it's still really psychologically significant.
Yeah. But building into this game, and it always sounds as if it might be excuses, but the manager at no point, Stevens, at no point have we been able to select from a whole squad. We've had loads of issues. You're well aware of it. People suspended, European bans, and so everything's just starting to blend back together, and more people are now becoming available. But as far as today, people can go away now and look at that game. They've got to take and watch the game back, because out of possession and in possession, that's the level. That's the level that we've got to try, and that's what we go into every game trying to achieve. Sometimes you can't do it, but that is the level.
Is there a feeling for you that there's a spark in that now under this goal?
Well, if an occasion like that doesn't light your fire, there's something wrong. Because for me, it was even trying to stay focused and seeing that 50-odd thousand. That's special. There's very few clubs can replicate that.
Gary, you mentioned Leon Balogun there. For everybody watching, it wasn't standout, but it looked to a few as the whole team had to adapt today. Rangers fans are used to seeing fullbacks balling forward. Wasn't as much of that today. How difficult is it to adapt?
Yeah, there was you've noticed some little tactical tweaks that we had to make, because Celtic, they play with 2 players extremely wide and high. So when we're doing our analysis of the opponent, we've got to look at their strengths and we've got to adapt. But then during the game, I thought we enforced our style onto Celtic, and that's why the game was. I thought it was a good game. Obviously, I'm smiling that we won, but it was. It could have gone either way.
Yeah, you spoke pre-game about pressing high and taking the game to Celtic and having a real attacking sense. There did seem to be a shift after half-time. I was doing a bit more of that.
There's a wee bit of that, but then there's a cleverness that sometimes you want to come off the game and allow the opponent to have the ball. So it's players adapting within the game. We set a tactic, but then some players, like a leaders like Steve Davis will change the tactic. We leave that open to the players. We can't just stick to one plan. There's parts of the game where the experienced guys can make decisions for themselves. We can't get every piece of information onto the park.
International break is obviously a natural staging point in the early part of the season. Has the club achieved everything it wanted to do at this point so far?
Well, the thing is, we've made the Europa League, and I think it's an amazing achievement to do it 4 years in the bounce. Listen, I'd be lying if I was saying we wanted to get into the Champions League. I felt in the 2 games against Malmo, we felt we could have beat them, but it's gone, and that's been, we'll put that onto the players. Now we had to get through that difficult tie in Armenia, where it was roasting, by the way, I've got to say it. And we're in the Europa League group stages, so we're sitting not bad.
And just yourself personally, how difficult is this been for you, having to step up, and are you looking forward to Stephen coming back in and taking a little bit of that pressure off you?
Listen, we've been in constant contact. There's been, as much as it looks as if there's been massive change and there's loads of people missing, we did come together, so we've been in constant dialogue. Obviously these duties become, there's a wee bit more, but I've enjoyed it. The thing is, we had to get through this week, and we'll get through decent. Sure.
Gary, you said that Rangers imposed their style of play, particularly as the game progressed. Looking at the second half performance, what did you say to the guys at half time to really push that? We
just felt in the moments of transition, if we showed a wee bit more quality in that first pass, and then that gives you the ability to make 3 or 4 passes, and then you create a wee bit of rhythm. So that was the thing. We wanted to try and play more.
Do you feel like the result today's perhaps silenced some of the critics that's come Rangers' way in the last week or so, particularly?
All the outside noise doesn't really affect us. What we're saying to our players is that's the level. We want to keep it within us and go, that's the levels that you've set. And I thought we get very close to being, right back into the finest bits of form last season.
Gary, obviously today went very well. First half and second half well executed. After all the well publicised doubts about the opening competitive games, does that give you a new baseline heading into international play?
No, absolutely. And that's been, we've expressed that to the players. I thought today, looking at us, there was a snap, which we always ask for. In the little jewels right throughout the pitch, we were there. We weren't closing down from 2-3 yards, and just there was an energy, which obviously when you've got that amount of fans, reacting like they did today, it does help. So again, that's the sort of level of performance. We want to win games. We want to keep clean sheets. And if you can play well, it makes it even better.
Gary, sorry. It's the last time we'll get to speak to you before Tuesday, so I'm sure you can guess what's coming. But Borna Barisic, when he's leaving the pitch there, seemed to have a tear in his eye, and he kissed the pitch before he walked off. Is there anything on Borna's future?
No, what I was saying, that just might be a wee reminder to himself that's his level. I thought that was Borna Barisic back at his very, very best, in possession, out of possession, and it's good to see. You never know.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Wow, how lucky are we? That's our assistant manager, by the way, Jaffa.
Brilliant, innit, Ox? I know I had similar kind of thoughts going through my head there, going, man, gee whiz, you forget that Gary Mack's our assistant manager. Gary McAllister. Love him to death, Ox, love him.
I thought he was very honest in what he said about the game. Bridgeman, I picked up, but he's saying that we've not had a consistency of selection through different circumstances, and new things are maybe slowly falling into place for us again.
Yeah, it sounds like it, and that's what I saw on Sunday. Looks like it too. Mm-hmm. And some of the players that we were hoping would turn out against the likes of Celtic couldn't make it because of a number of things, COVID tests and we call it self-isolation and things like that. And hopefully they'll over this next 2 week or 10-day period or whatever it is, until the next game comes, we should be able to pull a lot of these guys back together again. So there'll be a number of players ready to step into the pool, shall we say, the squad, and do their business. And that's what you're needing. You need all the best players back in again. And I kind of just agree about Kent. I thought Ryan Kent was outstanding yesterday. I think that he wasn't the greatest player in the whole world, but I thought he was outstanding. His effort was tremendous. And it wasn't until probably halfway through the first half that somebody was saying to me, and I actually realised what he was saying, that Ryan Kent's actually playing with an injury. I don't know what injury it was, but apparently he was playing with an injury yesterday, and I thought, that's brave. That's bravery. And he done it well. I thought he had a tremendous game for us. Along with everybody else, of course.
I thought they had a lot of the ball, maybe flattered to deceive at times, Jaffer, if I've been fine in the first half. But I thought the second half was battered them. No, carry on, Jeff.
Sorry to interrupt, mate. I thought, like yourself, Ox, I thought they played the ball like they were going. They were pedestrian. They weren't going anywhere. They were playing along their back four, and we were sitting off them and letting them do it. I agree. Obviously the percentage in stats shows that they had more of the ball, but they didn't really. I mean, until probably the 78th minute when they made the change up front, when the young fella went up, pushed up ahead. They got that chance with McCrory. I mean, as far as I understand it, that was their first direct shot and goal, Ox. So they done nothing really. You know, they had the Edward chance in the first half that he skewed. You know, I don't know what he done, mate. He hit it, he tried to flick it backwards.
They missed a sitter, but you think that was the only thing that happened in the first half. We hit the post. We had opportunities to make other chances as well. I don't think, I'll be honest with you, I'll come to Bridge with this. I thought our forwards players didn't have their greatest game yesterday. I take on board what you've said about Kent. I think it was his hamstring he's had problems with. One or both, I don't know. But so that affects his move off and his speed, Bridge. But I thought they could play better, just slightly decision making, etc., which hopefully will come with consistency of selection. But we always looked dangerous even in the first half, Bridge.
100%. You know, I think that I thought Morelos had terrorised them at times. But what I did say in my wee view from the Bridge is that looking at Celtic, there's maybe over the last couple of years, I don't know whether you have noticed this before, but they're so full of body checking, it's not real. Body checking, blocking, you know. They just deliberately walk. Look at that guy that did that to the goalkeeper, Edward. That should have been a yellow card. They actually ran in and tried to elbow him. You know, it was just utter nonsense. And what's going on with the referee then? That's the kind of words that were coming out of my mouth. What's going on with this referee? And I realised who it was. And of course, you watch it, the whole game was just littered with one bad foul, sneaky foul, snidey foul, call it like, after another. And a lot of that was jumping on Morelos' back. A lot of that was 5 or 6 times Morelos' back jumped on and not a foul given. Just terrible stuff, just terrible.
Come back to the stats, Jaffer, about Bridge mentioned the stats, possession and that. By the time we play them again in the league, that's over 2 years since they have beat us in the league. So all that swanning about and how all the things and all the promises and everything's burst. It's that long since they beat us in the league that Corona was a drink the last time they beat us.
I know they just the hot air that comes out of their gubs it makes me laugh. So it does. The agenda changes daily. They move along to something else. We can't play in front of a crowd. And we've heard them all, haven't we? But 2 years, Ox, and that. Listen, if you're them looking at us, listen, we're the team to beat. We're the best team in Scotland. We are the champions. We showed them. We bossed them about yesterday. And we showed them how to win a football match. I thought our game management yesterday was absolutely brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. It couldn't have been any better.
I don't think we were great in the first half. We were only poor. We always looked a threat going forward when we sprung them because their defence, and then slowly in the second half, they were getting pushed back, and obviously the strikers were getting isolated. Not to the goal, mate. The only concern I had was we're murdering him, we're no scoring. That's what was worrying me, Jaffa.
Yeah, again, Ox, I said the same to my daughter. I said exactly those words. I said, we need to score. You can feel it brewing, but we need to capitalise on it. And it came at a great time. The goal was a ball. It was a ball. You know, you couldn't miss it really. It was just a great goal. But like you, Ox, I was getting a wee bit nervous about because the second half started, our zipping of passing changed. We were moving the ball around. I heard Gary McAllister touching on that there. We started to string 3 and 4 passes together, and that creates a fluidity amongst especially in the middle guys. And I thought we really did push them back, and I think we kind of stepped up. I don't know if we stepped our energy levels up. I thought Steve Davis, I think it was about the 87th minute, I saw him sprinting about half the park, and I was like, where's he getting the energy from? He was also brilliant yesterday, Stephen Davis. Again, in the first half, he let a couple of things drift under his foot. There was a wee bit of loose passing, but I think in the second half, Ox, we got our game together.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree, mate. I agree. And ran out worthy winners. Okay, the last 5 minutes was a wee bit nervy, Bridgeman. But you're going to get that when teams push for an equaliser, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. And they're quite renowned for their end of games attacking and so on and so forth. It didn't work for them yesterday. I think the Rangers were up to virtually everything they wanted to do. They even brought their Diddy goalkeeper up for a try. I think that's a great boost for Rangers that guy's there. I thought he was shocking. A terrible goalkeeper. However, and the way I know I mentioned it in the view for the bridge. He stands on the ball and he holds the ball and holds the ball. And we just let him. And before you know it, that's another percent possession they've got. And the figure doesn't look right. They need to get rid of all this back passing to the keeper. Out of the statistics, I mean, they should build a statistic for that alone. And they'll find out who the rotten keepers are. But seriously, I think we showed yesterday, our young goalkeeper showed yesterday, he's absolutely top class. And we've got 2 keepers who are slightly older, McGregor and McLaughlin, and they will probably, between them, they'll probably be up there and running the first choice goalkeeper position. And then when they finish off, I'm sure McGrory, we should be able to step in. I thought it was a tremendous game yesterday.
2 goals, 2 games, Jaffa, 2 clean sheets.
But you can't ask for any more than that. No, totally, 100%. I agree with you totally. I thought the clearance rate that he got off his line in the first half, was that the first half or the second half? The second half where he actually came off, the ball was going right through, and their centre forward was through. He was brilliant in that, and the save with his right paw was brilliant. Great save. Yeah, I thought he was excellent. And obviously, Sporting Integrity FC, as we all remember at the end of the game, he throws the ball out because one of our players is injured. And what do? They keep the ball.
Aye. He's learned a lesson, hasn't he?
He has.
Yeah, but that's a scandal. The referee should just pull him up for that. That's just not right. It's just not right when teams do that. We'll just keep going. But then you're right enough.
He's learned a lesson. Right, let's hear for you. See what people have got to say. Maybe they're all still recovering, Jaffa.
Probably. I'm still in the Loudon, probably.
What's the number, Bridgeman?
The number's 0141 356 1972. Come on.
Give us your thoughts. Aye, great victory, and obviously that's us 1 point behind where we were at the same stage last season. So, all right, we've not maybe quite hit the heights, Jaffa, but we're close to it, and we just have to go on a run now, yeah?
Well, I mean, we've come through a difficult spell, Ox. I mean, I think we all know that we've you can hear all the issues that have been going on in the background. Gary Mac alluded to them, and Stephen Gerrard's been alluding to them. We've had some issues, but we've come through it now. We're in the Europa League. We've got some brilliant matches coming up, and we're playing Leon, we're playing Sparta Prague, we're playing Brøndby, and then amongst that, Oxford, more importantly than anything else, we've got a league campaign, and we're sitting. That was a great victory yesterday. It was a brilliant victory. If that hadn't have gone our way, we could have been and probably looking at major issues going on and things going, problems with us. It didn't happen, and the players deserve all the credit in the world. So, can't get any better.
Yeah, but just listen, mate. And Gary McAllister admitted it, mate. He admitted, we would have liked to be in the Champions League, and he also admitted that he thought that team were beatable, but we just needed it, so you have to move on.
Yep, take it on the chin. we had problems, obviously we've had personnel problems, we've had players, Roof was banned, Kamara. We all know how great Glenn Kamara is. I mean, there was a period at the start of the second half. Yes, he looks like Patrick Vieira. He's absolutely brilliant. See some of his moves and those spins of the hips. I love it. Him and Joe Aribo.
I didn't think they two. I don't think their midfield functioned brilliantly in the first half, but boy, did they grow into in the second half, Bridge.
Yeah, indeed. And it mentions the young Aribo and what's his name, Glenn Kamara. My goodness gracious! When they put it on, they do some beautiful passing movements, just great. And when you mentioned Stephen Davis, there was probably a 10-minute slot in the second half. He was like 10 years younger. His legs were just still there to his late 20s and his 30s. Unbelievable stuff. Just fabulous. He ran the whole pitch. Tremendous stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed the whole of the second half. I really, really enjoyed it. The whole game I enjoyed, of course. But the way we went took the game to them. Once again, we took the game to them. And whenever they came back and attacked us, which they did, they didn't slice through us, apart from twice when two absolutely beautiful passes, I must admit. And they cut their two centre halves right down. And we managed to get the ball away and we get it resolved. Where another goalkeeper saved it a couple of times. But really, that was the only time. There was a wee 5-minute spell and they did that. And they like to think that they had us all beaten. The Lions up. Well, somewhere along the line, there's a lot of Celtic pundits, Celtic, should I say, sided pundits, turning and saying that we were very lucky. And I don't really need to tell you who these people are. They're all in the press and the television. It's just shocking. They just can't give end to Rangers at all. Nothing at all.
Oh well. I've told you before. Don't read, don't click, don't get upset about it. Ignore them. Ignore them.
100%.
Yeah. I think young McCrory, big shout out to him. He's not young, but he's young in the number of games he's played for our first team, and his development is maybe a senior to get to become a senior pro Jaffa. They might just be pacing it right for a goalkeeper.
I think so. You know what I thought was brilliant about him, and I think we all obviously see it through our own eyes, and that's what makes it wonderful. But one of the things that's the first I'm not going to lie, first I've seen Robbie McCrory in the flesh, and I thought he was brilliant. He gave a great calmness to the defence yesterday. He really did, and I thought that helped. That helped Balogun, it helped Hollander, and it helped Golston, who was a wee bit jittery in the first half, Ox, as you well know. He let a couple of things get through him. There was one ball that he should have had that just skated away from him. McCrory kind of came out and cleared these lines. But you know what I thought was really brilliant about Robbie McCrory yesterday? I thought his positioning and everything that he'd done was immense. Absolutely immense. And I must tell you, Ox, I don't know if you spotted it, but the man who's got the best job at Ibrox, I saw him in flesh because I didn't even think he existed. I saw him yesterday kicking the ball into Robbie McCrory's hands. Andy Firth.
When I grow up, I want his job. Anyway, we'll be joined with Spanish Billy. How are we doing, Billy?
Good evening, gentlemen. Hope we're all keeping well after yesterday.
Hello, Billy.
Yes, mate. Yes, very well, mate.
Hola, Billy. Hola.
How are you, Billy?
I'm not too bad. I have a new migraine, so I'll try and talk some sense for a change tonight.
What's your thoughts then, mate?
I will, first and foremost, and it'll probably be predictable, but I just want to talk about Leon Balogun. I was very concerned yesterday. I rate him as a centre half, but we seen like last season he had been caught out at right back. So I was very nervy about that, but I thought the guy just oozed sheer class. Like, he played like a captain yesterday. The passion, you could just, everything he done was with intent and purpose. And I mean, in the first 28 minutes, I think he had made 7 or 8 slide tackles. either in the box or right outside the box. That's potential carding offence, free kick or penalty if he gets that wrong. And I just thought he was magnificent. And the interview he done in the podcast where he spoke about the day he fell in love with Rangers,
combined with
Billy,
we're going to play that, mate. So, yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
We're going to play the podcast in a few minutes. The interview by Leon, but carry on, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, just so the podcast interview combined with his two interviews yesterday and his performance, you know, I just fell in love with the guy so much because you can take to the bank every single word he said, and you know, the way he touched the badge, the smile, and he was talking about, you know, stepping up, and basically just the way he articulated himself. He gets us, and it's just like, I didn't know very much about him before he came to Rangers, and it's just a shame we've caught him as he's aging now, because I mean, yesterday, honestly, I can't remember the last time I seen a performance like that, and Stephen Davis and Joe Aribo blew me away defensively yesterday. The battling, the tackling, all the nitty, dirty, gritty work in midfield, I thought Davis showed a completely different side to himself yesterday. We had been wondering, you know, who was going to stand up and be counted. Well, Stephen Davis, Leon Balogun and Joe Aribo, for me, can be incredibly proud, along with young McCrory, because what an Old Firm debut. You might not have many saves to make as a Rangers goalkeeper, but you have to make them, and that'll do that young man's confidence a world of good. And well done. Be proud, because I'm certainly proud of everybody yesterday.
Well said, well said. We've touched on Balogun. We're going to hear Leon's interviews later on. Jaffa, you bumped into him a few weeks ago, didn't you?
I did. I had the pleasure of having a wee brief chat with big Leon down in the West End of Glasgow, and he was lovely. Great big guy, spoke brilliantly passionate. Just as you've said there, Billy, about Rangers, happy to be here in Glasgow, loves it, loves the fans. He was a really nice guy. Sweet as a nut, mate. And he was brilliant yesterday. I was cheering him on. So it was magic. I really enjoyed watching him yesterday. And it was a great performance. Some of those slide tackles, I mean, they were amazing, weren't they?
Timing and bottle as well in a big game.
First
Stephen
of all,
Davis.
Zappa, how on earth did you get into the West End of Glasgow?
Bridge. I was going to say, I told them I was Bridge, and I get in, no bother.
The secret millionaire, Bridgeman is. Going back to Stephen Davis, Billy. I don't think I've ever seen Stephen Davis win so many headers in a match.
See, yesterday I thought our aerial presence and the heading from the majority of our players yesterday, I was sort of rubbing my eyes a couple of times. It was just you expect it from our defenders, but we were heading the ball all day, and I don't know. I just seen the second most famous Cullybacky man, Steve Davis, done a pretty good job yesterday. The defending, he just showed that battle and that grit that we've debated and discussed, that we were lacking with Jack. I thought Aribo and Davis yesterday, that their defensive tackling was just, I thought it was fantastic. And that's the heart and the passion we've missed in the last couple of weeks. And I don't know, I was just so proud yesterday. Mm-hmm. So proud.
Can I ask Billy a question?
Yes.
Who's the most famous then, if Stephen Davis is second most?
What did you think?
Rangers Radio's newest listener, my follower, Wesley Reynolds.
Oh, yes.
Panic Web.
Yeah.
Oh, he's infamous.
He's infamous, no famous, he's infamous.
Brilliant.
I thought they grew into the game in the midfield. Listen, our team, even when we're bad performances, we didn't play well against Malmo. We know that, but they always give us everything they've got, Jaffa.
They do, Ox. Aye. Yeah, listen, we've got pros. I mean, there was like 11 captains on the pitch yesterday, and that's what it looked, and that's what you sometimes need. You do, especially to get through Old Firm games. And we've heard that over the years for guys like McCoist and Haley and talking about stuff like that. And even Laudrup, epitomises that kind of talk, that you need 11 captains, Richard Gough characters. I thought we had a lot of that yesterday. But, Ox, our club, we built on those kind of performances yesterday. I thought we were absolutely outstanding. I mean, it was a great performance, a brilliant Rangers performance. And as we spoke there, I mean, talking about defensive duties and pedalling back, Billy, the other one that was doing that, and I don't know if you even noticed it half the time, because I didn't know until I watched it back last night. I thought Ryan Kent was marking Callum McGregor. I don't know if you spotted that one, guys.
He was closer to him in the second half.
He did, yeah. Ox. I think, incidentally, Ox, I think that was one of the main reasons why it freed us up to push up a wee bit, because I think they sat Kent on McGregor.
Aye, Ryan Kent, obviously, if the ball's a few inches inside the post, it becomes a different performance for him, but he done okay. We didn't have any failures yesterday, Billy.
Well, just touching on that last point, I got the player wrong. I thought it was Turnbull, because I thought we didn't let Turnbull play. Like, so many people were saying, like the Unlock could build a team around Turnbull. He didn't get to play yesterday. And I didn't quite notice who it was that was stopping him, but he didn't get to play. Like, Kent didn't have the best game, but he didn't have a bad game either. I don't want to speak negatively about any player. I actually thought Kamara, more so in the first half, was very, very sloppy with his passes. That's not like Kamara, but then in the second half, he grew in confidence. And those wee drag backs and his ball retention, that was back to the class and quality of Glenn Kamara. Just a slow start, but there was even Big Hollander was brave and quiet, but he was very, very brave. I just love watching that guy head a ball.
He's in folklore now.
Some player, by the way. Some player.
By the way, he's young for a centre half. Big Hollander, yeah.
Yeah, 29.
No, he's not. And I'll get his exact age just for you, Bridge, but he's young for a centre half.
28. But yeah, great game yesterday. I thought a back line, roll defence from the goalkeeper to the left back. I thought they were outstanding, and obviously within that, the magnificent performance by Balogun and Borna Barisic turned it on the second half. What a corner he took! What a corner!
It was a belter, Bridge, wasn't it? That was a belter.
God.
I mean, pinpoint accuracy.
Well, yes, and you know when he took that corner and we scored, I thought to myself, after I'd calmed down, I thought, he's taken 3 free kicks, run about the box, and I thought to myself, if he could have had even concentrating hard to get his shot, his crosses in or whatever, or get past the wall. He couldn't get past the wall. But that corner kick he took, oh, wow. I was made in heaven.
And he was doing a wee bit of the old Graham Roberts down in the corner, I noticed as well.
It was magic to see what happened after
I was just wondering where his tin flute was.
But what happened to him afterwards? Because the word started spreading like wildfire through the crowd at the end of the game, where he was crying, and somebody was saying that's probably his last game or something like that. What are you talking about?
And again, Gary McAllister touched on that, didn't
you never know. You never know what will happen, do you? You left us hanging with that one, Gary Mac did, yeah? He left us hanging.
He never put a stop to it, Ox, that's for sure.
No. Philip Hollander, contrary to Oscar, as rumours of people having him 28 or 29, was born on the 20th of the 4th, 1996. So he was 25 this year, Bridgman. Really young for a central defender.
Absolutely. Hey.
25, is that all he is, Ox?
Yep.
That is young. He's got his best years in front of him, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's an
You have
actual
to remember that Oxford went to Highland School and they weren't very good at counting in there. So.
Oh, I was always good at counting, mate. Always good at counting. Billy, big Hollander, great header. I've got to be honest with you, at the match, I thought it was right in the goal. I didn't even notice the goalie touching it.
No, I don't know. What happened was my stream, my internet froze. So whenever Born is spurring the crowd on, just as he was about to kick the ball, my stream froze, and then the internet kicked back on again. And next minute, I could just see Hollander and all running, and I had to wait for the replay. I didn't actually get to see the goal in real time, but David Bowie's Starman wasn't doing much to pick up Big Phil anyway. He just the pace on him, like people say about his pace, but whenever he's coming to head the ball, he just come in with some ferocity. And they say about Joe Hart not being able to dive to the left. Well, he dove to the left and it didn't do him any use.
He just made it his, Jaffer. He was determined, and he obviously, I don't know if it was a planned move or just in an area and you attack and goals and blocks and odds off, and he went up and he made it his.
He kind of stands at the four, the kind of bottom of the diamond, of that four that they all congregate in at the edge of the box, doesn't he, Ox? Big Phil, he seems to take up that. He's obviously the man that they want to try and get his head onto. It was a great climb on him as well, I have to say, because he had a good half a head on his marker. But there's a great camera angle, and I'm sure we've all seen it. The one where he's on slow-mo, where he's literally, I think it's on the Rangers website today. His eyes are just locked on the ball, totally locked. He was like, "I'm getting that," and that's going in the onion bag. You're getting it.
Yeah,
and it was a great header.
He ran round him, and then the angle was absolutely spot on. He went and made the ball. Oh, what a header!
It was a beauty, wasn't it, Bridge? Just one like you would do yourself in back in the day, Bridge.
Exactly. I scored a load of goals that way. I did.
Wait a minute, I've just need to get myself back out.
I heard you falling there, Ox.
Fantastic. Great position. Ronnie McKinnon, I have to say, Ronnie McKinnon was excellent. He scored a lot of goals for Rangers. Well, he scored goals for Rangers. And that's the area he used to do. He used to run in. And amazingly, Billy McNeil was the same. He sort of hung out near the edge of the penalty and then he came in late and got himself up and got scored goals, you know. I liked Ronnie McKinnon doing it as well. It was really good to see. So I copied him.
So, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Just shows you a bad result brings in callers, a good result doesn't bring them in, Jaffer.
They're not away to booking their holidays away and all that, Ox, away for the long weekend, making a weekend of it. That's what I was thinking earlier on. It'll either be mobbed or there'll be nobody want. They'll all be still drying out or still on the sauce.
They've all joined the search party to look for Kyogo.
Oh, he's easy. He's in big Leon Balogun's back pocket. That's what he's looking for him. You know? Listen, I know we talked about the players and all that, but I have got to give a special mention for Gary Mac. Billy, I don't know what you think. Just the way he conducted himself the last 3 or 4 days. We know that Stevie G's a big shoes to fill, and Gary just slipped in there and was first class. Billy, Ben Bridge.
Yeah, I think that's what we have all throughout the club. You know, like, players have touched on it, you know, like the passion and the class and decorum right from the staff the whole way up to board level. And I think everybody knows what the club's all about. And we're not naive. We don't give silly things away in the press. Apart from the ingenious that is McGregor's one-liners, we have a lot of people that speak very well, and as was touched on earlier, like Gary Mac's honesty, and he just speaks the truth, and he tells the fans what we need to hear, and doing a fantastic job, especially in the absence of the man himself. So thank you for that, Gary Mac.
Rich?
Yeah, Gary Mac. I've said it earlier. What a performance by him this last week, in fact. Just fantastic. He's carried the club, everything about him, his pose, his poise, everything about him, just tremendous. And the way he's managed the team and the players through two really, really tough games for us anyway. Really tough. Because he even said it himself in his interview there. It was a really strange time for him, for everybody at Rangers over the last couple of weeks. So they've now come through that, hopefully, and away we go. But hats off to him. Big pat on the back to Gary Mac. That's for me, for sure.
Jaffer, I think you feel the same, mate.
I do, Ox. I think he's been awesome. I mean, he obviously, unless you're involved in an organisation as big as our club and what goes on in the background, all those players been missing from the camp, from training. A manager who's the focal point of our club not been around. It's massive, Fox. It's really massive, and he's done, as Bridge alluded to there, done tremendous. Taking the team away over to Alishkert, over to Armenia, in roasting heat. And he couldn't emphasise that enough, in roasting heat. And we got through, we done the job. It wasn't pretty, but we done it. And then to turn out that result yesterday, it's great. It's great. I'm dead pleased for him.
Before we go on, Bridgeman, can you check the Skype comments, mate, just to see there's some people asking about your sound. We've been joined by Jim. Jim, how we doing?
We're doing well, son. We're doing well.
Good, man.
All right, Jim. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. My views on yesterday, you're probably obviously wanting to hear from me. So very quickly, I will say that yesterday we got a result, a big result, because the hype that was coming from Celtic with their new players and the way they were playing, the amount of goals they were scoring and how well they were playing, I think that played into our hands. And I think that our background staff, seen all this, knew all about it. They played tactics, and the tactics were first class. They knew how to play against Celtic at home. They knew what they had to do, and they carried it out with aplomb. They done the right thing. They done everything the way it should have been game managed, which we've been criticised for in the past. But on this particular game, we done it with less staff than we normally have, and we still managed it very, very well. And well done to Rangers. The only concerns that I have over the next few months is that we don't let our guard down and getting beat off of St Johnstone or some other wee team. We've got to keep the game management up and make sure that we stay those 3 points ahead.
Let's go on a run. Is that what you're saying, Jim?
Yeah, we have got to go on a run. And we've got to go on a run which is better than the run that we've had over previous weeks, because we have changed. We are letting in more goals than we did last season. Something's a bit different. We're not as progressive, but we've seen good things that have happened. We've had a goalkeeper that's come in from the background, which we've all known about. The boy's come in, he's done a good job. Let's introduce him. The same as we did with Patterson. Let's introduce him, give him the games. Let's get the boys from the academy in, the Kellys. Let's get them in and lead them in. Get them along with the boys and get them in, the Bassies, get them in, and but get them into a situation where we have no goals being conceded at the back, and we win more games 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. But that's what we've got to do. We've got to keep this progression going. And the thing is that Steven Gerrard has got us to this place, and he's done it over 3 years now. It's taken 3 years to get there. He's done that. This guy knows what he's doing. He's on a mission, and we've got to stand by him, and we've got to admire what he's doing. But we need this progression to carry on.
Well said, well said. I get you, but the defence, obviously, we've lost the odd mere goal. I think this time last year, I don't think we'd lost a goal in the league, Jaffa. But believe it or not, here's a stat for you, Jaffa. We've scored one more goal after 4 games than we had last season.
Jeez, I didn't think that would be. I didn't think that was the case, Ox. To be honest, if you'd asked me to go in that blind, I wouldn't have answered that.
That's astounding.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Listen, we in the league, of course. Aye. We're in a great place just now. We've just negotiated. As Jim was just saying, there's some great points. There were a lot of noise coming from the other end. Obviously, we've heard we hear it, we see it. You know what they were going to do and how brilliant they were. All their media bum chums bigging them up. How good it was going to be and how many goals they were going to score. It didn't happen, and they were put in their place.
Here's another.
We're in a great place.
Jaffa. Here's another stat. You like this one, Bridge, before we go back to Jim. The greatest team the world has ever seen has now scored a goal in nearly 200 minutes of football.
Aye. Greatest team the world has ever seen.
They couldn't score in Alkmaar, could they, the other night?
After 2 minutes, they never scored, and then all the extra time and added time, and then Sunday.
I had another stat, and I don't know how true it is. But apparently, they haven't won an away game in the league. They haven't won an away game in the league since February.
Correct.
Is that correct?
I think so.
Wow.
All the followers that listen to this will phone in and tell us, of course, if it's not correct.
Make it up anyway. It sounds good, Jim, doesn't it?
Exactly. I would stick with it. I'd run with it, Ox.
Jim, who's shown for you, Jim, on Sunday?
Well, there's absolutely no doubt about it that, and I shouldn't really expect this, but Balogun was absolutely fantastic. He came in into a known position for him, but an unknown opposition in the wee Japanese guy. And he bossed him superbly. He had him on toast. He was in his back pocket. Apart from that, McCrory had an incredible job that he had to do in 2 games for Rangers. A young boy, him and his brother, great Rangers boys. And he's proved that he has got a chance. He's got a chance to become a Rangers legend goalkeeper. He's got a chance. And it all depends on the opportunity that he gets. Whether he gets that opportunity, that is something to be seen. But also, you've got Patterson, another boy in the same academy who has got an opportunity, but those opportunities don't come along too often. And if you don't take them, and if you don't do what you have to do, they disappear. Now, I would say that we need to be looking at the academy, along with them boys, young Kelly and others. They are our future. They're the boys that bring in all them young boys that come in for the Union Bears and all the rest of it, that support the team and give it the noise and give it the big thing that we need to progress. And we need these young boys in the team. We need them. We definitely need them. And they need to be learning off the older guys that they're going to replace. So I would say being impressed at the weekend was basically that Balogun played well, McCrory played well, and that Celtic weren't allowed to play as well as they could have done. But don't forget, we have got a better Celtic than we did last year, and we've got to up our game every time. We've got to up it. Okay.
Well said, all right, get yourselves on mute because we're going to have a tune.
And marching on through the years of history. Heads held on high, up for the jersey they would do or die. Oh, fight, fight for right, play the game with a badge of glory. Win, lose or draw, well, that's the Glasgow Rangers story. See them march on, banners high as they fly before you, loyal and true, on the way to cheer the boys in blue. Oh, follow they will, marching on through the songs of glory. Win, lose or draw, well, that's the Glasgow Rangers story. Have you seen the Glasgow Rangers? Have you seen the boys in blue? Well, they're admired by all who know them. If you knew them, so would you. For they have played in Monaco, they have played in the USA. But the greatest game in history is the game on New Year's Day. For it's a home of famous heroes, and their praises they have been sung. Willie Waddle, Tory Gaelic, Alan Morton and George Young. And when all my life has ended, and when death has made its mark, will you scatter all my ashes on the slopes of Ibrox Park? And with the angels I'll be singing, up in heaven, they're up above. I'll be singing, follow, follow, to the Rangers that I love. And with my flute I will be playing in the valleys and the glens. I'll be happy and contented when the Rangers win again. See them march on, marching on through the years of history. Heads held on high, up for the jersey they would do or die. Fight, fight for right, play the game with a badge of glory. Win, lose or draw, well, that's a Glasgow Rangers story. See them march on, banners high as they fly before you, loyal and true, on the way to cheer the boys in blue. follow they will, marching on to the songs of glory. Win, lose or draw, well, that's a Glasgow Rangers story. Win, lose or draw, well, that's a Glasgow Rangers story.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Win, lose or draw, oh, that's the Glasgow Rangers story. Yes! I'm really high after yesterday.
All right, a couple of wee announcements to make, just so everybody knows. I know that one of the presenters on the show was a big part of Sky's coverage yesterday. And you've got a 75-inch television, you'll have seen him in the flesh. My Drumchapel correspondent made it big time on Sky yesterday. It was also good to catch up with him before the game. And secondly, just to remind everybody, if you fancy winning a shirt worn by Marvin Andrews on Helicopter Sunday in 2005, there's a Just Giving page, £10 for entry as a raffle from the Rangers supporters Erskine Appeal. It'll be drawn on Saturday, the 4th of September at Partick Bowling Club, and all the money is going to the Erskine Glasgow home at Anniesland to assist in the care of veterans in the dedicated dementia unit. So, worthy cause. I think there's about 200 tickets sold so far, so £2,000 made for the top. Yeah. And if we can get that up, anybody who's got a spare tenner, maybe just line with a change for yesterday, get in there. Worthy cause.
Were you speaking about me there? You're speaking about me and Sky? Or was it Big Stevie? I don't have Sky, so I wouldn't know.
Who's that, Stevie? Right, okay. So you never know, Jaffa. If you don't buy a ticket, you can't win the raffle. Yeah.
Got to be in it to win it, Ox. Got to be in it. That's a great prize, by the way. That is a brilliant prize.
That is a special prize. If that's your thing, that's a special prize.
For all the shirt collectors and that are out there, the guys that like keeping the blue tops and all the full kit, that'll be one that's signed with that whole motley crew. That'll be one to tell the Grand Waynes about.
Yeah, keep believing. Talking about guys who always believe. We've been joined by George UK. How are we doing, George?
Evening, gentlemen. Absolutely fantastic day yesterday.
All right, Georgie boy.
All right, lads. All right, man. That was absolutely brilliant, man. Loved every minute. Well, I've nearly every minute. Aye. What a day, man. And I swear to God, man. So much for the thing, mate. That boy was an absolutely fantastic striker, by a man. But let's be honest about it. The wee Japs paper get through it in the box, by a man. Know what I mean? We put stop to that, and I'm talking about.
Aye, all the hype, George, all the hype. And,
all the hype, man. That's exactly what it was. And in the first half, we weren't, I wouldn't say we were at the races that much, man, know what I mean? But in the second half, by the way, they hardly even get any time in the ball, and I'm talking about.
Oh, they were all over the place for maybe...
Aye, man. Oh, it was brilliant, man. Know what I mean?
A good 35 minutes in that second half, George. In fact, we should maybe put the game to bed if that's a criticism.
Aye, we should have scored more.
Yeah.
If we scored the second one, he's been doing with the first one, but the second one didn't finish. We might even have scored more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Kemar Roof was really good and all. I thought Balogun's excellent. I thought Kemar Roof had a brilliant game and all. And Davis, I mean, everybody was wearing the blue shirt. Was absolutely brilliant yesterday. That's what I would say.
Well said, George. I like that. I mean, it was a team performance. I thought
it was, mate. It was. We put them in their place. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah. Were you surprised? Let's be honest about it. With all the hype.
The Balogun and right back.
Aye. Were you surprised at
that performance? I was like, oh no. I see these wee Japs people are going to turn us inside out here. They did me. You know what I mean? Because Balogun was absolutely outstanding, by man. I mean, honestly, he was absolutely outstanding. He deserved his man of the match. country mile.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll hear from Leon Balogun if that's all right with you, Jaffa.
Brilliant, love it.
Let's
My
hear
big
from
mate,
Leon
my big mate Leon.
and then we'll come back to George.
Never worry about it.
Leon, a man of the match performance for you there. How pleased were the team after the week that you've had to go out and achieve Europa League qualification and now a victory in your own firm match?
Well, I think I don't have to tell anyone how big that win was today, also in terms of a look at the table. And obviously, first Old Firm of the season, full house, win, clean sheet. You couldn't ask for more. For me personally, man of the match, that's just amazing. It's nice to top off a difficult week, and obviously we've been all smiles after the game. Like, I think everybody can be really proud of him or of themselves today, and that's everyone, really everyone, like staff, players, people who stepped up from the academy, everybody.
I think you dealt with Hashi very well today. Had you watched specific analysis of him before the game, or you reacted to what you saw happen on the pitch?
We get actually clips of every player every week, and I just had a look at the video, at that little edit one time, but obviously it's my job, so I've watched him before. I'm not going to lie and say I've analysed every move, but I think with 33 years and the levels I've played, you have some experience and you know what kind of player he is by watching a few bits of him. I knew that it's going to be a challenge because he's, well, compared to me at least, he's quite small, sharp movements, quick feet, and it's just adapting to that and just trying to read him as good as possible. And yeah, I think today I've showed that I can time a slide tackle quite well. Because I'm not going to lie, you should not have to slide tackle all the time, but if that's what it takes to stop him, that's what you have to do, and that's what I've done today if necessary.
Liam, great performance today.
Thank you.
Lots of outside noise and outside pressure given all the goings on of the last few days. How did that impact the preparation?
Well, I think you've seen the preparation. Obviously, we've got one thing thrown at us after another, and you did not know, you wouldn't even know where those punches come from. But what we always do is just stick to ourselves. Don't even reply to that noise. Reply to that noise too much out there, because that's just out there. For us, the most important thing is within the group, and that we keep our focus. And it's been a bit hectic, it's been a bit tough with all the traveling going on, but we said straight after the match on Thursday that it's a big one. Let them ones do the talking, let everybody out there do that, make their noise. We're going to replay on the pitch, and I think we've shown what awaits everybody if you come after us like that all the time when something negative happens in our club or around our club. And as I said before, I think we can be really pleased and proud of the way we responded to that.
Leon, just put into words what that does for the mood in the dressing room, and obviously the next 34 games and the rest to come. And obviously it's the international break as well. Does that come at a good time, or will you want to just keep going?
Oh, you can see it from two sides. Does it disrupt the rhythm? Maybe a little bit, but it gives us a chance to regroup as well, come back to full strength. So I would stick to the positives. Me personally, I'm looking forward to being in Nigeria again. 1 point with the national team, that's always nice. The rest of the boys get a breather because it's been intense. Everybody knows that we did not have the whole squad available, so it's a good time for everybody to take a breather and then regroup. And I think it's a good moment today, or a good way to restart everything for us, or to start the season properly with the way we performed. I think we've been at our level today for the first time in a long time for a full 90 minutes, which is what we've failed to do so far. And I think we should just use that pretty much as kind of a milestone for the season and set this as a standard. And yeah, that's what Rangers was all about, or is all about, what we've done today.
Would you also like at this point now to be a start for you in terms of after performance today to get that consecutive run of games in the team?
Well, I mean, there's always a bit of rotation going on, so that's not a big problem for me. I still fancy to play centre half, don't get me wrong. But look, today was all about stepping up when needed, out of position, and I think I have enough experience. I played that position in the past, and it's just about doing what everybody else has been doing in the club, stepping up to where you were needed, and that's just not me. That's everybody. So again, everybody can be really proud of themselves today. Everybody, every single soul. Seriously.
Leon, do you hear what the fans have been calling you after today?
No.
Leon Balogun.
That's a new one. That's a new one.
That creep was great. How does it feel to know the Bon Jovi with the support? I think it was exemplified today that the team reacted to the support from the stands, it looked like.
As I said it before on Sky, I think like after we scored and I realized that noise that just wouldn't stop, I got goosebumps running back into my half. No, it's been amazing. For me personally, I love that shout, to be honest. I've had a few along the way. I've had Cafu before and Lucio before, and but that one is a nice one. But then again, for me, it was the first time to meet the supporters in an old firm, and yeah, I would say right now, it feels like I'm addicted.
Oh, what a special guy! The character of the guys we bring into our club is it was always special, but I think since Stevie G's got involved, Jaffa, it's definitely improved it.
Yeah, it really has, Ox. I mean, he's articulate, intelligent, and he speaks really, really well about our club in general. I think that
I was asking you about Leon Balogun.
I think it epitomises, Ox, what's going on in the background over at Auchenhowie. The class of the personnel that's going in through our door is second to none. Absolutely second to none. Okay. From Gary Mac and everybody.
Yeah. We're going to get Billy's last thoughts for the night. We've got some more colours coming in. It's over to Spanish Billy for his last thoughts of the evening. Billy?
Yeah, just as been said, like I said earlier on, the way he spoke and articulated himself, he knows what this club is about, and you can tell he loves our club now, and it's just a shame we got him nearing the end of his career, and it was magnificent, and as always, thanks a million for having me on and for listening to me ramble on.
No problem, mate. Speak to you soon and tell your dad we were asking for him, yeah?
I will indeed. Thanks very much. All the best for the rest of the show, gentlemen.
See you, Wilman.
Cheers, Billy.
Cheers, pal.
All the best, pal.
George, Big Balogun, what a man.
Oh, man, what more can you say, man? The man's a Rangers man, died in the wool. You know what I mean? To the last day he kicks up off the Rangers, by the way. He's never going to forget it, man. There's no team like the Rangers, and he knows it. You know what I mean? And yesterday, man...
Welcome to the Tesco mobile voicemail service.
Carry on, George. Well, carry on, mate.
I just said he was outstanding, by
yeah,
he was. Every slide tackle, man, was bang on the money, you know what I mean? He got the ball. Every time he made a tackle, he got the ball. You know what I mean? He was just absolutely brilliant. But I'll tell you something, by the way. Did you see Holander's face after it, by the way, man? He was ecstatic. Ecstatic, by the way, you know what I mean? He scored that goal. So he'd never experienced noise like it. He remember it to the day he dies, I'm talking about.
If we get a chance, we might play that, or we'll maybe play it tomorrow night for Hollander's interview.
I'll tell you what, I'll let myself go, right, and you can crack on, boys, right?
George, is that the same crowd that you reckon our team couldn't play in front of?
Aye, mate, tell me about
it. Unbelievable. It was the loudest I've ever heard, Ibrox. I'll tell you now, it's the loudest I've ever heard that when that goal went.
Aye, man, that was loud and Braga.
Wow. I've said some fantastic.
Crackling, I think, was the word a lot of people used. It was crackling, wasn't it?
Oh, my goodness gracious. It was just something else, just something else. It was wonderful.
I like the nickname, Jaffa. Did you like that then, Jim?
What was that?
Leon Balogun.
Oh, Leon Balogun was that David from Heart and Hand? Aye,
it might have been.
Aye, it was a good one. Aye, Leon Balogun. That was brilliant. He's had a few. Was it Cafu? He said he'd been called a few times over his career.
We called him a couple of names and all.
I had my mate up here yesterday, Oxford. He went like to me, he didn't really know much about the players and that, man. He's a Rangers fan, but he went, the kind of accents are. They're the best in Glasgow. You can't say it's didn't call Glasgow, man. He's German Nigerian, for Christ's sake, man. Know what I mean? No Glaswegian.
We only one Scotsman on the park yesterday.
I know. And goals.
And goal, eh?
Robert.
Jim, Leon Balogun, I think a lot of people, if you were a betting man before the game, you wouldn't need your money for him to win man in the match, would you? Come on, let's be honest.
Well, I've got to be honest, yes. I would say that, no, I'd say you're probably quite right. But then again, I think that there's very few players that under Steven Gerrard and his team have brought in who have been duds. And I would say that Steven Gerrard has picked people who he knows can do a job. Maybe one or two haven't been able to do a job, but Balogun has actually played in that position before, and he's never really let us down. What he's done yesterday has proved that he can play in that position as well as other positions. So he's proved that. He's proved that before yesterday. So I'm not surprised. Absolutely not surprised that Balogun stopped that wee Japanese player from playing yesterday with his slide tackles, with his size. He was double the size of a wee man, and we've seen wee men before take the pee out of big guys. He never done that to Balogun. Balogun was right there, right on it, fully focused, and made sure that he done his job for the boys, and he was immense, absolutely immense, and mainly because people did not have faith in that man, and he proved them all wrong.
He did, mate, and I've got to be honest with you, Bridgeman. A lot of people may be surprised it was a talk that obviously Patterson wasn't playing. Rumours were abound yesterday, and people put two and two together, and we got 5. But I wouldn't have thought that Balogun would have been man of the match. Bridgeman.
Well, the biggest surprise to probably everybody in the stadium. They never dreamt he would. He never dreamt he could play like that. What? Some of these decisions were tremendous. I mean, he catching that wee fella up. The wee fella was like lightning. Big long stride and a huge long leg and good tackles in. Wonderful. He actually gave him a footballing lesson through tackling. Unbelievable. That wee guy was pretty happy to get away into the middle of the game, middle of the park again, because he couldn't cope with Big Balogun. Just couldn't cope with anybody that came down the left wing yesterday. We're going to get some sort of lesson off Balogun. That's the kind of form he was in. Superb, wonderful performance. It's a long time since we saw a right back playing like that, and that's for sure. From a defensive perspective, unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah.
We'll be joined by Willie. Evening, Willie. Oh, we sound can't hear him. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yes, mate.
Did you think they're super duper striker, by the way? That was a Van Bosk-esque miss.
I was up there, mate. Let Jaffer answer that one. I was up there.
What was he trying to do? A lot of people are saying it come off his heel and stuff. I think I don't know what he thought. You know, they always say he's got this je ne sais quoi, finishing. I don't know what that was yesterday. That was pure mince finishing. It was brutal.
Just to let Willie know, we had to drop you there, Willie. Your sound was, I don't know what you were. I don't know where you well, that's what happens. You have moments turn games, but I think that team we've got, Jim. Look, this team, when we know we've had the odd bad defeat and that, we have some of the cups and that, and Malmo was sore. It took it took us off our stride a bit. It was a tie we feel we should have won, but we never. But really, with the piece, this group of players, they've not let us down. They gave us everything, and hopefully they can drive us on to 56, Jim.
Yes, I'm a little bit sceptical at the moment regarding the poor start that we have made over the last sort of 4 or 5 games. It's been a little bit hit and miss. Yesterday's game was an uplifter. Yesterday's game proved that we haven't got too many issues in the dressing room. Before yesterday, I thought something's not right because our defence is leaking goals and it's the same defence. Something isn't right. But yesterday, we changed that and it looked so much better. But there's something, I believe, which needs to be fixed. And whether it's because we're getting new players coming in and positions are being threatened, I don't know. I can't say too much. But I know that McAllister's quite up front, and he also does hide a lot. He doesn't give out too many nuggets. And he's doing a great job behind the scenes with Stephen. I think personally that over the next few weeks, once this international period's over, and our first game's against St Johnstone, and then we've got the other games that will flow on from there, we need to carry on getting results. And by results, I mean playing well, but winning the games. It's all about winning the next game.
Yeah, it's consistency.
It's all about winning the next game. It's all about winning the next game. And if we can play with good movement, and I'm talking about your Kamaras, your Davis, your Aribos, and creating things, occasionally having the Haggai come in and giving a wee bit of brilliance there. But I think we've got an issue with the likes of, say, Barisic, who's not performing as well as he can do. He got pass marks yesterday. That was all. He put on the ball, he crossed the corner for Hollander's goal. Great, fantastic. But at the end of the day, he has not been the player that he was before. So
I think coming back from injury, he's got a big part to play in that, Jim. But anyway, we've been joined by Willie now. Evening, Willie. Hopefully you're better.
Can you hear me all right, Rod?
Aye, we couldn't hear you at all the first time, mate.
I don't know. No, I'm just saying I hope you've all calmed down.
That was one of your best calls. That was one of your best calls. Your first call. What
are you trying to say? I love it. I can apologise about the other day. I was getting a wee bit kind of frantic. No, I had weekend to score the first goal. So you can imagine me. I was up and down like a yo-yo. 16-1 I got it.
Right.
I was going to take Alfie because I've usually got a tenner on him. And every time I've had money on him, he always did is hit the keeper with the ball. And when he did score, I never had money on him, which is typical. But Wycombe was good at that and all. I mean, Wycombe could score a hat-trick against Queen of the South in the Cup. But he couldn't beat that swine that went to Hearts. What do you call him? Craig Gordon, remember?
Aye. I thought Alfie, it was a strange game, Alfie. He passed some great balls. There was one in the second half, when he spread it to the other side of the pitch. He showed what he can do, but he never really did sniff, really. One shot in the first half, that was about it. Just a couple in the second half when he was out wide, they tried to put it in, but there was no real...
the one he put on the bar, he should have scored that. I mean, you would have put your money on that before, because some of the goals, especially the goals that he scored in Europe. But, I mean, the whole team have been kind of running hot and cold, but Balogun, definitely man of the match. What a game he had. I say, we've not saw a right back like that for a long, long time. I mean, he used to go on about Big Wallace. But I thought Big Wallace was the best defender either, because all he did was back into the box, instead of pushing whoever the striker was, or the forward player, out to the byline, or out to the corner flag. If you notice, Waldo used to actually back in towards the box, and then there's a chance there you're maybe going to give away a penalty. I know he was great going forward, and he was really good with Mackay. They linked up well, almost the way that Danny did with Tav, remember, for the first couple of seasons. But Balogun, brilliant. For a centre half to play it right back, brilliant.
I don't think Lee Wallace would get near your team at the moment, mate. Wouldn't get near it. Jaffa?
No.
No, we're up.
I don't think you can get in the Queen's Park team either. Queen's Park Rangers.
No, we're about four or five notches above where Lee was playing before he moved down south. But that's what happens. That's football ops.
Aye.
Especially when you play elite football like Steven Gerrard brings to Glasgow Rangers. So
that's what he's trying. I'll take that around the panel. I'll go to George UK with it. What Gerrard's done to us in the last 2 seasons, we've played them 7 times now. Really, this is into the 3rd season. Obviously, one season disrupted, and we've beat them 6 out of 7 games. We were never going to beat them again. When Gerrard came in, he was an under-18s coach. All the stuff of George. 7 played 7, 6 wins, 1 draw, 13 for 3 against.
But I was getting all that crap about that. Their manager, I can't even remember that roster's name, like, you know what I mean? Andy
Postcode, I call him.
Aye, something like that, right? But he's like, got to do that. And I was like, you something beat us for nearly 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, that's you'll be the man to date, man. I was like, he proved he's no, you know what I'm talking about, man. We're steadfast in our ways, you know what I'm talking about. We shall not be beaten, you know what I mean? And every game we played, we just looked superior to them. And that's right. Apart from the game we nicked it 1-0 with the own goal. But at the end of the day, we still won the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still the better team.
How important is that to you, Jaffa, psychologically?
Like incredible, Ox. I mean, in a dressing room, in a dressing room at our level. What we done yesterday, what the damage that does to your opposition is immense, and psychologically the lift it gives us is incredible. I'm sure once we see the personnel coming back, we've got a full pool to choose from. I'm confident we're going to go on a run again, Ox. Confident we are.
Jim?
Yeah, I think it's imperative that we go on a run, and the run I'm talking about is beating the other teams in the league. We have to win every game. And we did that without losing very many goals last season. And we have to regain that defensive frailty. We've got to make sure that we don't lose the goals that we've been losing recently. We've got to get back to our defensive ways, and the goals will come. I don't think they'll come in abundance with the likes of what we've got at the moment. But I think Fashion Sakala and maybe Roof, with a few more games, they could up their game and have more goals added to the team. I like that Fashion. I think he's got something, and I think he just needs a chance, and he needs more minutes, and I think he could get there. You score more goals, you win games. Doesn't matter how many goals you lose, but we had a team last year which didn't lose goals, and that's what got us to win the league last year, by not losing as many goals as the other teams.
Ox, Chair.
Yes, George.
Do you know think it was going to be a bit difficult to come in and replicate last season?
Without a doubt,
we started so slick by my man. It was fast, but
I think
defence is solid. You know what I mean? But this year, man, we a bit slow. We started off slow, but conceded a few goals. But I think it's going to come. I really do.
George, we're only 2 goals worse off than our goal difference than we were after 4 games last year. Yeah,
it was going to be really, really difficult to replicate last year. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was a British record, mate. You can't, I
know.
A great point there, George. Wally, you can't. I mean, I know it was different in the fans there, but the performance of the defence in the league was just maybe once in a lifetime, Wally.
Unbelievable. I mean, they went on about the Invincibles and all that, but at the end of the day, Arsenal done the same. They were actually invincible in the league. And then if you look at the Monkey Mob's record, it doesn't even bear thinking about it. It's hard to believe that Lennon had a better European record than the £3 million.
I mean, that was £3 million he got. What did Lennon get? Probably lucky if he get 50 grand when he left Hibs. You know what I mean? So, we know why he went back there. He went back there because he'd nowhere else to go. And there's not been a peep at him, if you notice. I think he's opened his mouth in the last couple of weeks about the players and this, that and the next thing. But what about Edward's miss? Is that not the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life? That should have been a goal. I mean, that should have been a goal. And they heard me, Robbie actually dived because he thought he was going to hit it.
You're tempting me, Willie. You're tempting me to laugh, and that was really quite
Don't
funny.
laugh, Bridge. What did you... I know you've always been I know, Bridgeman, you've always been a dedicated follower of fashion.
Absolutely.
He came on, not quite. I don't think he was quite match fit, so he'll be good for that, getting that under his belt. And hopefully in a couple of weeks, that'll be somebody else to add to the squad, fully fit. Bridgeman?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Can't disagree with what you're saying and all that. I just think, if you just think about it now, and I'm not want to say too much about it, but allegedly, they are now 6th in the league.
Yeah.
If they don't gain points the next time they play, they're going to drop in. Good chance they'll drop into the bottom 6.
Good.
Fantastic news for us,
Oh,
yeah. That's the way I look at it. It's a bit weird, but I just look at it like that. As far as I'm concerned, Rangers. Yes, pal.
Bridgeman, do you think that Joe Hartman's the best buy they've bought for ages, man? He comes out, he flaps everything, doesn't he? Yeah, he's big guys up there, man. He's got their goals.
He got his honey on Sunday.
Oh my God. The way he holds onto the ball inside the box.
I know.
The goal line, you're like, what is he doing? Get in there.
He makes Pat Bonner look like a good keeper.
Oh, God.
Get some neck on him, I'll tell you.
Remember him? Oh.
It's just shocking, but it really is.
That's me showing my age now.
By the way,
I know, I remember him. He'd a shop up East Kilbride and all.
Aye. Here, listen, talking about East Kilbride, have you got somewhere to park that motor yet to see if you're walking through Coniston?
Oh, your name's
What's that? Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, listen, I lost George and Willie. Don't know what happened there.
Shocker, Oxley.
The George and Willie show.
Maybe they'll learn. Manners cost nothing. Anyway, just wait till your name, George will be all right, and Willie, they'll be back in a minute. Another factor, Jim, that's not been took into, and we wouldn't be making excuses, but we're going to talk about it now. The journey in the heat and Thursday and then back and playing that game, mate. It takes its toll.
Yeah, that's a very, very important factor. But what I would say to you is, regarding that when you're playing in the heat of, say, 30 degrees, and you're perspiring for an hour and a half, and then you have a day off in the hotel, relaxing and getting back, and in that time you're thinking about what you're going to be doing in the next game, that doesn't really hamper you too bad. That gives you an added incentive if you've got the right people speaking to you about what's going to happen in the next game that's coming. So I didn't see that as being an excuse. I've seen that as been something that they need to learn and they need to get over. They need to work on. They need to know what it's like to play in the heat and then come back into a cold Glasgow, a cold Ibrox, and feel the heat of the support that we gave them yesterday. And I'll tell you what, you cannot beat that.
Yeah. Jaffa, I mean, an hour and a half sweating and working hard. You're usually a minute and a half, so you can imagine the toll that'll take.
And I've not had a 7-hour flight in between there, the Hogs. Listen, I don't think you can underestimate what that would take out of you as a professional footballer. That journey, and as Gary McAllister alluded to at the start of the interview, Ox, was roasting hot. So yeah, I think the players, the backroom staff, all the medics, all the coaches, obviously have got their planning spot on, and they've got. I mean, we clearly went over there to do what we'd done, which was to try and basically play the game at walking pace, so we didn't lose more energy than what we had to, and it worked, and we got the result. And it's that game's gone now. We've got the Europa League. We've got some great games coming up, Ox. We've got a lot to look forward to. We're very, very fortunate. Our team are doing us proud. The management team are doing us proud. The supporters were awesome yesterday. They were absolutely brilliant. I don't think there was a bear in the world that didn't love that performance yesterday. It was absolutely fantastic. So, great place, Ox. I'd rather be in our boots than in their boots. And when you live in Glasgow and you move around Glasgow, that's all that matters.
Did anybody see the picture of the wee boy on his father's head that was doing the rounds?
Brilliant, I did.
What a picture.
Oh, unity.
It was brilliant. It was absolutely stunning.
The wee boy's expressions, tremendous, isn't it?
Unbelievable. Right, all right.
I'm back, boys.
Oh, we know, Wally. We know.
No, it wasn't me.
No, Wally.
I'm just going to... I know it's too hard for you, right? George, you're George, and Willie, you're Willie. Just wait to hear your name, then you talk, all right? It's no difficult, yeah? If you want me to write their names and put them on a badge for you, we can do that. I'm sure we can do that.
Yeah, gold star as well.
No, gold stars in your two badges. There'll be no gold star in any of your two badges.
Did I get a sales badge?
Right. Jim made a great point earlier on. I'll come to George with this. It's now important. I know it's a couple of weeks away, and it's just because we're discussing it, and Jim brought the point up. It's all about driving us home, beating St Johnstone, and keeping this momentum going. Europe will take care of itself. We're just talking about League. George?
Totally, by the way. We need to get up and running again, back to the way we were playing before. Incisive passing, by the way, and like more unity in the team, you know what I mean? And and just get firing all cylinders, because St Johnstone's a team that should never be beating us. Never be beating us. We're Glasgow Rangers now. I mean, we're the champions, by the way. So if we get back on form, get ourselves together, we'll can them and see about 5-0.
Wally, it's all about pushing forward there.
Well, as I say, I agree with the bridge man. Mollocate them 1-0. That'll do for me. Not as I win.
I love you, Wally.
1-0 never done us any harm yesterday, did it? So.
My heart has missed a couple of beats.
It's only a nervous watch. Jaffa, it's all about going forward now, isn't it?
Well, they're the kind of runs, Ox, that win your leagues when you go on 8, 9, 10 game runs unbeaten, and it starts to gather. The belief that within your camp is incredible, and the players love that. The management team love that. If it's 1-0, it's 1-0. If it's 5-0, it's 5-0. But winning the league games is what's going to. That's the foundation of your club, Ox, and that's what we need to do. Getting into 8 game runs, 10 game runs, and the rest of it takes care of itself. I think, did we not hear Stephen Gerrard comment last year that their league, or for the players, that they broke it up into blocks? Was it not sections? So they give them targets at the end of each block, like today, for yesterday's match, before the international breaks, and then they give them a next target. I think I remember watching one of the VTs on that was the way how they worked it. Anyway, winning matches is what it's all about for our club, Ox. It's all that matters.
Bridgman.
I can't disagree with a single word that was said there. As far as I'm concerned, we've made a great foundation. Managed to get through here. We've 4 games played, lost 1, and we don't know. You just start thinking about it. You wonder what on earth happened to us. However, now we've taken the next step, and we need to take the next step and the next step. Yeah, get it done, and get the foundation of Rangers Football Club back on line again, and do the business. Rangers players need to do the business. If they've forgotten all about it, that game on Sunday there will wake everybody up, brings them back into a wee bit point of creation of focus. Get in there. That's what you need to do every week.
Oxshire.
Yes, mate.
You know what we need to think about? We need to think about, man, about the work we've done, the progress we've done in the last 4 years, by the way. You know what I mean? Getting the coefficient up, by the way. So the next year, man, you get automatic qualification into group stages. We've got to think about that. We can't think about the rat catchers, by the way. Stealing our kudos, man. That can't happen, man. No way, can't happen.
Good point, George. Good point. By the way, I don't know if anybody's took any Europa League. It's only the first place go through there. The second place play the teams that will drop down for the Champions League.
The third team of the group from the Champions League Ops.
Aye. So you could have some tremendous ties if you finish second, or then if you finish third, there's potential to go into the Europa League. So we'll see what it takes us. But it'd be great to replicate our season again. But that'll take care of itself. Get back till Sunday. Special day for the fans, Jaffa.
Oh, that was brilliant yesterday. I have to say that's been one of the most enjoyable occasions I've had at Ibrox. You know, those ones that you count, you know, the things that happened, the big games. That was awesome yesterday. Absolutely awesome. In fact, I'm still getting tingling. I've got goosebumps still thinking about it. I was bouncing out the stadium. And I tell you, as you know, Ox, and you've met me, it takes a lot for me to bounce.
Oh, dear. Willie, the fans.
Bouncy. I bet he was bouncing then.
Hey, everybody was.
Brilliant. It's long overdue. As I say, he'll not last to Christmas, Andy Postcode. You know what I mean? By the way, I still say that he shouldn't be the manager, and I've tried to go into Snyder about 3 times. See if that was Gerrard. Now you think about it. If that was Gerrard that didn't have qualifications in this country, right? Because he's getting nothing. That's how we still get Kennedy and that Gavin Strachan there. What they should have said to him, yes, you can be the Celtic manager, but you have to go to Largs immediately. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200 and get your badges. Now, you notice they're trying to sneak him in the back door because of law in the SFA. I want to know why we're not kicking up hell about it, because the whole league would have done if it had been us. You can guarantee it.
Why would we kick up hell when a mug's got their job?
No, but you know what I'm talking about. If that isn't Gerrard that wasn't qualified to be a full manager or a full coach.
Carry on. Stop worrying about them.
I'm not worrying about them. You're the one that's talking about them. I couldn't give a monkeys about them. I don't care about them. I never have done.
You did.
No. I'm talking about the fact that he's got the job when he shouldn't have the job. He's not qualified. He's never been a manager or a coach in this country.
Well, you're right. You're right there, George. That's a good point, mate. A good point. Jim, the fans yesterday, did you enjoy it?
The fans were outrageous. They were. It should never ever been allowed to happen. We were just outrageous. They played their part so well that it assisted the team to complete another historical victory over the others. What we've got to look at now is the history that we had last year, where we were 3 points in front of them, and then we ended up 6, and then we were 9, and then we're 11, and then there was a COVID thing, and it went a wee bit further, and then they pulled it back, and then we went a wee bit further, and we got to about 25 at one point, 25 points in front of them. Yeah, at the moment we are 3 points in front of them. We've got to continue this, and St Johnson. St Johnson's the next one.
Yeah, you're right, Jim. Cheers, Jim. We've been joined by Big Al. Morning, Big Al.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's good to hear. It's good to hear Abbott and Costello on the radio this morning. I thought they two were dead.
All right,
Al. How you doing, mate?
Aye, not bad, Abbott. How are you?
Brilliant.
Chris Costello.
Big Al, don't argue with two idiots, mate. They'll drag you down to their level.
Listen, on the level.
Aye, on the level. Aye.
What's on your mind, Big Man? Big Al?
A really good result, gentlemen. First half, I thought we were still the better team, but we took our time to get back. The second half, different class. I like to praise Balogun. think we need to use this now. I think you've all been saying that, and I think the players realise that. I think this was a game that we were needing. It's a pity it didn't come 4 or 5 games before that, but this is a game we're needing just to springboard us to the title, to the 56. Really pleased with the team. Thought it was a really mature performance in the second half, if that makes sense. Alfie didn't score goals. Thought he played well. I didn't think Kent was bad. I think you can see his frustration.
Went through an injury, mate. You can see it.
You can see it. But he still tries the kind of dangerous thing. Still tries the off the cuff thing, which I like. That's not. I don't think his confidence is affected. I think it's just maybe. I don't know. It's just something about him. Ruth, he needs to get a bit more time in his legs. I thought he looked a bit sluggish, but I thought he's still done well. You can see what he's going to bring to the team once he's in top form. Young boy McCrory, that save, that one with his foot, that's excellent. If that's what we've got to look forward to, we're in safe hands in the goalkeeping position. I can't remember Rangers really having a bad goalkeeper. Have we ever had a bad goalkeeper?
Simonson.
Maybe no.
Steve Simonson.
All right, okay. There you go. Aye, Steve Simonson. Aye. All in all, a really happy Sunday I had. I wasn't that confident going into the game just because of some of the results prior to the game, but ecstatic after the game. Wonderful. Well done, Rangers. Well done, the fans as well.
Did you enjoy watching it? And the atmosphere was crackling, Big Al.
Oh, I was laughing at myself. I thought Big Blue had banged the computer, man. I was streaming it through the TV because it started. I said, "What the? He's banged that computer, man," because it was the TV screen was shaking. And then I realised it was actually the cameras. That's good. That's good, man. That's good.
And have you've done a shift, yeah? No, you just start.
No, I've just arrived at a shift.
Right,
I'm waiting for some
sure
boys. I need to give them an
a couple of
induction.
your friends, will you?
No. Working with Aussies, none of the puddle drinkers are about.
All right, okay.
I don't want to hide them.
They're away catching They're all away catching rats, Wally.
What did you make of the surround Proddy sound yesterday?
Oh,
with the fans, with no fans there, I thought it was brilliant.
I love it. I don't get the point why I wouldn't have any of them in my stadium. I know people say, and I think that's just, I don't know why they say it. No, I prefer that. I prefer it. And I would do that every game. Just take my own fans there. I don't want other fans there. I don't support any other team. I only want Rangers fans there.
Here.
Well said, big man.
Just Rangers fans for me.
It'll be interesting to see what happens going forward with us. All of a sudden you've heard clamours for 7,500. But
why?
No fees.
Oh, by the way, I was talking to a guy yesterday. And I believe that Muppet at the East End of Glasgow, he coined that Ange ball phrase himself.
Oh, did he?
Aye. That's how daft. Imagine doing that. I'm going to try and investigate some more today. I'll have a look at some of the Australian websites, soccer ones and that. And but I believe I was talking to a guy yesterday. He was laughing about it, and he says, he coined it himself. I think when he was at Melbourne or something. Ange ball. Anybody that's got coins a phrase like that, if it's true, man, he's got issues. The boy, he's got issues.
More like dough ball.
Aye, dough ball, or bus ball.
Well, it's hard to believe. Jaffa, it's that time of the evening, mate.
Crazy. That's flew in. That was been a great show. Thanks for having me on, Ox. It's been brilliant, pal.
Oh, pleasure, mate. Pleasure. And it's over to you, Mr. Bridge.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Al. Catch you soon, big man. Yeah.
All the best.
He's right. It's been a fantastic night. Great evening. Well, great show. Well done, Oxford. And well done to everybody else. Raffle, thanks for being with me here, pal. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It really is good. And George and Willie, they were put on a good show between them. So all I can say is to me, to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, please remember, this It's been historic this weekend for us. Historic. Absolutely wonderful. Isn't it great to be a Bear? Keep it going for the Rangers, everybody. Just keep it going.
We are a people.
Can I thank Jim? Of course, Spanish Billy. I think I should thank Billy and George as well. Would you think, Jaffa? Aye?
I would think so. Just a wee one.
All right. A big thanks to Billy and Jaffa.
Cheers, lads. Much appreciated.
And of course,
nice to be in your company.
Yes, always, Jim. Nice to speak to Big Alfie Australia and Jaffa and Bridgeman for doing the show. Thanks to Fox for working hard behind the scenes tonight and Port Bear assisting them. And a big shout out to Old School Blue, who was at the game yesterday and is away on a hot air balloon ride today. So we don't know if we're going to see him. But thanks to everybody for listening. Stay safe. We'll be back tomorrow night talking between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue. Sorry, Fox.